Alright, so this is just going to be on a little tutorial on how to do a few simple lines in AutoCAD, and then I'm just slowly going to work through all the stuff that we go through in a typical class. Again, everybody learns a little bit differently, and this is kind of what I wished I had when I was learning. It doesn't mean it's the only way, and again, just like in AutoCAD, there are a million different ways to do this stuff, so you just have to pick one. Just a real quick kind of a tutorial for those who've never seen AutoCAD in their lives before. This is the command line here. Mostly important. It has every command you're doing. If you ever get stuck and you're wondering what's going on, usually your answer is down here. It's asking you to select an object, pick a base point, whatever it may be asking. You'll find it down here though. And then up here, these are the ribbons. Some people love the ribbons, some people hate the ribbons. To be honest, I'm kind of like about the ribbons, but they're here to stay and they work okay. If you notice, I have the pull-down menus up on my screen right here. To get those, honestly, what you need to type is menu bar, enter, and then hit 1, enter, and you'll see your menu bar up here if you're looking for that. If not, it's probably best you don't get used to it anyways, because once you get used to it, you're always going to want it. And by default, I believe it's off. So, anyways, just getting down to it. So, whenever I say click, I mean left click. Whenever I say right click, I mean just that, right click the mouse. Most things are going to be click, and then right click is mostly to kind of get our options and different things going. So we're going to start by drawing a line here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a quick lines by direction. So I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to put myself in that direction. I'm going to type in 5 and enter. So I moved 5 feet, 5 inches, 5 meters, 5 centimeters, whatever you want to call it. Right now it doesn't matter, we're just learning the commands. So the easiest way to draw a 5 by 5 square is, or 5, whatever. So anyways, so I'm going to turn ortho on. So to turn ortho on, I'm going to type in F8. And again, this is the easiest for newbies. Actually, there's a cooler command, and there's a few other commands even do better. But for right now, just learning the line command, this is just the easiest way. So I'm going to put myself in this direction. If you notice, when I hit F8, it moves me orthogally. So there's 90, 180, 270, 90, whatever. So 5, enter, 5, enter, 5, enter. And honestly, you can type in C here to close it, but I'm going to type in 5, enter. And it makes a 5 by 5 square. So this is called lines by direction. You just basically point yourself in the direction you want to go, and then type the distance. Now, another way to draw lines is to use the dynamic input, and you can kind of see that. That's these things that are kind of rotating in blue here. So to switch between those, you're going to hit tab. So if I want to draw a line at 5 feet, at 45 degrees, I can hit enter here, and it'll draw it. Same thing, so you can change it to 30 degrees. It doesn't have to be 45, tab 30. If you hit tab again, it'll just kind of let you preview it, and you'll notice the 2 lock symbols, and you can hit enter. So that's called using the annotative input, or annotative input. I said it twice. Not feeling entirely too good today, but so if you just hang with me, it should be fine. So again, so that's the easiest way. And again, just because ortho's on does not mean I can't draw in that direction. If you basically force it to draw that direction, it's going to draw that direction. You cannot be stopped. So one of the other things about drawing lines is, let's say I want to start from the endpoint here. So there's one way to do it. In the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you'll notice a little square with a green dot. So when I go here, if you notice when I hover over, you kind of start to see that little green square right there. If I click, it snaps to it. Now, I personally don't like using this button in the bottom right-hand corner. But if you do like using it, you can click this little down arrow and you can tell it what you like and what you don't want on. So everybody's a little bit different, so you can select what you want. So what I like to do is when I draw a line, I hold shift, I right click, and then I go to endpoint. So let's do that again. So line, shift right click, endpoint, shift right click. Now I'm not holding down shift the entire time. Some people kind of, so again, just click, click here. So if I want to put a line at the endpoint here, so line command, shift, right click, let go of everything now, and then select what you want. It's the easiest way to draw it. So the reason I have you guys draw 5 by 5 squares is because it's good for testing this exact concept. So line, line, from endpoint here to the endpoint here. Now, this is where students tend to get tripped up because they don't see their line going. If you notice, I still have F8 on. If I turn F8 off, you can kind of see the line. But you don't need to do this. If you want to, you can honestly draw like this, and it's going to move it for you. You just have to have faith it's going to do what you want to do. Now, whenever you're done drawing lines in the line command, so when you're in the line command, okay, I'm done. You can hit enter to exit the command sometimes. Another way to do it is when you're in the line command, you can escape twice. Escape twice pretty much gets you out of everything, but not everybody likes to hit it twice. Sometimes they like to slam on it, and that's fine too. It's a good way to get your aggression out. But in these 5x5 boxes here, it's best just to, test some things. There we go there. So let's try this. Let's go from the midpoint here, and then we're going to go perpendicular to here. So again, just opting with that shift right click, line, midpoint, shift right click, midpoint. So just going through your commands, and if you don't want to do that, you can always turn it on here. And if you're really old school, you can just say MID for mid, select the midpoint, PER for perpendicular, and then select there. That was the old way of doing it. So you can still go old school if you need to, but that's kind of 12 DOS days, or even just DOS days in general. So there's ways to get around it and do what you need to do, but for the most part, that shift right click will never fail you. And the reason I know that is because one day I was actually teaching a class, and there was no middle mouse button, and I like to use something called M button pan. And when I used it, it wasn't there, and I had to figure out another way to do my snaps. So I learned shift right click, and to be honest, never gone back to a different way. I just kind of use it all the time. Snaps tend to fail, like the snap button here tends to fail a lot when you get a lot of objects. It just kind of bounces around, so that's why I don't use it. Excuse me. So anyways, shift right click will be your friend for drawing lines. Now, as you can see, sometimes you might need to erase something. So honestly, just window it. Now, window is left to right. So moving left to right. If you move right to left, that's called a crossing window. And they do two completely separate things. So if you notice, when I go like this, you can see the one line here kind of highlights itself. It's probably hard to see in the video, but you'll notice only one line highlights itself. That's because that's the only line completely in the box. When you do a crossing window, not only does it select the line that's completely in the box, but anything the box touches. So you'll notice that this line here and this line here are also lighting up, and if I were to click it, you'd see it. So again, window, crossing window. So anything the box touches in the crossing window will immediately select. Anything that's inside the box will only select when inside the normal window. So left to right, right to left. So blue box, green box, and that's about as much as I will beat that to death. Anyways, so again, that's one way to select it. So you're going to select your items, and then hit the delete key on the keyboard is the easiest way to remove items. Undo, you can undo whatever you did by clicking this, and you can click it a lot of times, so you got to be careful. You can go forward as well. Enter does the same thing, that's undo. Also, if you want to use the erase key, be my guest. It looks like this little pencil eraser right here. And you can just select what you want, and you can do the same thing, window, and then hit enter, and it deletes. Now, instead of hitting enter, so let's say I have these lines here, and I go like this. Instead of hitting enter to delete something sometimes, so if I go to erase, I select this, you can hit enter, or honestly, I just right-click my mouse. So whatever you want to do, right-clicking the mouse kind of goes with my one hand on the keyboard, one hand on the mouse rule. But whatever you want to do, you're just learning. So this is just simply how to draw a line. And some people might find this helpful. Some people might find it useless. Some people just already know AutoCAD. But if you don't know any CAD, you've never seen CAD before, it's just a really quick tool on how to draw these things efficiently. Now, drawing set distances. So when you're drawing in here, you'll notice right here in blue, that's the distance. So if I typed in 21, and I want to go at an angle of, so I'm gonna go 10 feet now, tab, and I'm gonna go 45 degrees, tab, and you notice it's gonna kind of zoom in. And now I'm gonna roll the mouse towards me, which kind of zooms out, and then if you roll it away from you, it zooms in. So you can kind of get used to that. And if you hold it down, you pan. All right, so I'm gonna go 45. I like it. I'm gonna hit enter. hit escape twice. So you can draw very accurately using that method as well. There's another way to draw lines, is if you turn on polar tracking here, and I'm going to set it to 45 degrees, which means every single time this line passes 45 degrees, it's going to lock. There it is. You can kind of see the green dashed line here, and it kind of holds me to it. And I'm going to come over here, so every 45 degrees, there's a lock. It locks right about there. So if you were just drawing things at 45 degrees, or you had 30 degrees, whatever it may be, you can easily just go like this, type 5, enter, come down this way, 5, enter, come down this way, again, locking at 45, then wait to get to 45. So you can draw something like that real quick too. That's drawing lines using polar tracking. And then, honestly, those are the two main ways. And then if you want to go completely old school, which is not bad, if you want to draw line 5, you can hit Shift at, so the at symbol, type in 5, then the less than symbol, which also means angle, and then 45, and you'll draw, and you can draw a line as well. Let me do it again. I think I might have fat fingered something. And then it draws it at 45. So again, simple old school command. That's again, at symbol, distance, less than symbol, which equals angle, and then your angle, of course, which I use 45. So anyways, that's how to quickly draw a line. Again, everybody's got different ways, and there's a million different ways to do these things. I mean, to be honest, you know, drawing a 5x5 square is not usually best done using the line command, but it does help you practice the line command fairly easy. So.